How you doing, y'all? Back in Proverbs 2 again, and I didn't really get far last time in the scriptures, but I'm gonna try to get into it a little bit deeper on this video. But last where we left off at, we were on verse 8, I believe, and it says, "He keepeth the path of judgment and preserveth the way of his saints." What was I talking about on that? I was saying that when you walk with the Lord, what he does, he allows you to get to a place where he keeps everything for you. Everything you need, he's there. Everything you request, he knows what you have to have when you need it, before you even need it. So he does, what he does for you is he keeps that foundation of who he is in your life as a father, and he always fulfills that. He always will fulfill that. He's always a provider. He's always a protector. He's always that strong tower in your life. He's always somebody that will care about every intimate detail of who you are. Excuse me. And when you have a relationship with Christ, it just gets you to a point where, and you start walking with him, you really start realizing he does care for you. And in your weaknesses, in your sad spots, in your times of crying, and you're broken, and you're depressed or whatever, he's right there for you. So anyways, verse 9, "Then shalt thou understand righteousness and judgment and equity, yea, every good path." What's he talking about? If you go back to verse 1, again, talks about how we keep the word inclined to our ear, how we cry out for his wisdom, how we're looking to find out who he is, that kind of thing. And then in verse 9 it says, "Then shalt thou understand righteousness." We'll start understanding this righteousness. We'll start understanding why he's allowing us to get that word inside of us and that mindset that changes. Once we start getting to a place where we change our mindsets and we don't have to do the things we used to do, and we don't have to suffer the consequences that we used to have to suffer, and we start walking in a path of his righteousness, we'll start seeing clear ways of what he really wants us to do in life. What does that mean? It means I don't have to be the old person. When you're born again, you become a new person. Your mind doesn't become a new person, but you become a new person. Your body doesn't change all of a sudden. You don't go from like 300 pounds to 150 because you got saved. You don't get taller. None of that stuff. Your mind's still the old mindset. What changes is your spirit, man. You become a new creature. You become a new vessel of what God has for you. And that's when you start walking his righteousness. Now, it's not an easy walk. It's not something that's going to be an overnight thing. If somebody tells you this all of a sudden can be better, no. When the enemy finally loses you and finds out that he don't have any power over you, what does he start doing? He starts fighting you even more. He starts coming after you in a place where he wants to attack you in every situation. He doesn't want you to be sanctified. He doesn't want you to be cleansed. He doesn't want you to come to a place where you're okay in anything. He wants to hurt you in your health. He wants to hurt you in your finances. He wants to hurt your marriage. He wants to hurt your children. A lot of people, they start going to church for like a few months. I see it all the time. I see people coming in, they think that, they got saved, they're at a rehab, whatever the situation may be. They feel like they've really conquered the world. They started paying their tithe or whatever the situation is. And then what do? They start wandering out of church. They stop going in on a Sunday morning. They stop going in on a Wednesday evening, whatever it may be. They stop teaching themselves more. They stop reading the word like they were reading. Like I remember a lady in our church a couple years ago, and our services went from, we used to have Wednesday services, now we don't, because nobody goes to church as much anymore. Anyways, we're a smaller church, the church that I go to. And remember, we were having Wednesday night services, and this one girl was there, and she was there at every services on a Sunday, and she was everything. And the same thing, this girl, like a few months before that, like her kid ran away. We found her kid, we prayed, and everything was okay. And her kid was gone for a couple months. I don't know what the whole situation was, but just a real bad, tragic situation. Well, this girl, she was praying, she believed in the Spirit, she spoke in the Spirit, all kinds of stuff, dedicated every service. Don't see her anymore at all. At all. Her walk with the Lord was very intense for a moment. Her walk with the Lord was pretty strong for that moment. But what was she doing? She was in the Word. She was in the Word every day, just about, I'm sure, because she was on fire. She came to church, right? She was around people that were like-minded, okay? And what happened? She just disappeared. I don't know what she's going through now. and she may be okay. I'm not saying she's having a bad day or a bad life or whatever. I'm not saying she's not with the Lord. She may went somewhere else. I don't know. What I'm saying is, she's getting away from what God wants her to do. You know, I used to go to the same church for a long time. I think 13 years when I first got saved. I've always been dedicated wherever I went. Went to another place for like 5 years because the Lord led me out of my home place. Went somewhere else. But then the Lord called me to go back to my old place, to my old spiritual mama and father. So what did I do? I went. I didn't want to go. I never wanted to go back there. No, why would I want to go back there? I want to move forward with what I have called in my life. Well, the reason I came back is because God said to me and my wife the same day, the same morning, go back. And why did I need to go back? Because God wanted me to be a pallbearer. He wanted me to hold the shield. He wanted me to protect my leaders, right? And the same thing with my wife. So me and my wife have been married nearly 20 years, and a very lovely woman. I love her very dearly. And we have come together to help benefit somebody else's ministry. And see, when you start doing stuff like that, you allow yourself to get away from what your purpose is, but God's purpose is more important. Because if I fulfill something for somebody else, if I get to a point where I'm blessing other people and I'm doing everything for everybody else, there'll be a time when it turns its cycle, and then it'd be my turn. Like Elijah and Elijah, right? They passed down the mantle, right? And so that's what our life is. When we seek God's word and we find that place where he's at in our life, we get to a point where we don't no longer have to be what we used to be. That's my whole point. That's my whole ministry thing here on YouTube. That's all I'm seeking after. It's not for that I can get glorified. It's not that I can make any money, really. I'm here to help you, whoever you may be. I want you to look me in the eyes and know I'm sincere. I don't have anything to gain by giving this video to you. I'm spending my time watching, or not watching, but recording myself for you. Because I want you to know there's hope. I want you to know there's a way out. I want you to know there's some other way besides what you've done so long. And I'm not going to apologize for taking so long, because this is a video. And if you want to go through the series of my videos and you get to go through Proverbs 1, 2, I may do all the Proverbs. I don't know. I may go to Psalms. I may go to something else in the Bible. I may change it all up. I don't know. But just stand along with me. Let's get you strong in faith. Let's get you strong in your confidence in you. God created you to be perfect. You are perfect in him. He sees you in your past as long as at the same time he sees you in eternity 100 million years from now. He's outside of time. He knows what your purpose is. He knows every word. Everything you're thinking, every thought. That's where righteousness, going back to verse 9, that's where righteousness is. Righteousness just means this: in right standing with God. Okay? Just being in right standing with God. That's all it means. We'll move on to verse 10. When wisdom entereth into the heart, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul, discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee. Understanding shall keep thee. That's pretty powerful. When you understand God, then he keeps you. When you don't understand God, again, like I was saying a little earlier, most Christians, they get saved, are there for about a year. And then after a year, they kind of dwindle off, because they were told this lie that all of a sudden, when you get saved, you are going to be what? Like all of a sudden just drafted in, and no worries, no struggles, no nothing. Okay? In all reality, though, that's not the truth. This walk with the Lord is forever long. When you decide to say I do to him, it's forever. It's the rest of your life. So don't go into it saying, I'm just going to date the Lord. I'm going to be here for a month. I'm going to be here for 3 months, see how it goes. No. Come into it with all your heart, all your soul, and all your might. Come into it with knowing that you can be what I'm saying you can be. You can be prosperous. You can be blessed. You can move mountains. Anyways, I'm going to keep on covering Proverbs 2 in my next video. Please like, subscribe, and share, and leave a comment. If you'd like to leave a comment, I'll try to answer any comments that you leave. I'd like to know where you're at in life. Let me know if this is helping you. You have a good one.